So here we go then, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Meet the Oppo, the series where I get the lowdown on Town's next opposition. This week, I'm joined by Tash as we look ahead to the Blues' trip to the Valley this weekend in League One. Tash, once again, thanks for joining me. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Ross. Yeah, I'm good, apart from Charlton's loss on Tuesday night. But I'm just over it now. Yeah, you? How are you doing?
I'm very well. Yeah, it was a cold Tuesday night in Stoke as Town beat Port Vale. So we're doing pretty well, but this will be an interesting game because it was a sort of tale of two games last season against Charlton. We, lost 2-0 at the Valley where we just sat Paul Cook and everything was up in the air. And then final day of the season, sorry to repeat it for you, 4-0 win at Portland Road. So it will be very interesting, this clash. But let's recap Charlton's season so far. 8th in League One, 5 wins, 7 draws, 4 defeats. How would you recap it so far?
I think the form probably sums it up, to be fair. It's been a very mixed bag. I mean, we went on a run of 8 games without winning. Sounds like a very dull draw at Lincoln, 0-0, and didn't look like scoring any goals really. And we changed our system from one up top to 4-4-2, classic 4-4-2, and it seemed to work for us. And we went on 3 wins on the spin, beating Pompey as well, and then somehow managed to lose to bottom of the table MK Dons. So it's been very mixed. I think, the players that we brought in, obviously we didn't spend any money in the transfer window, I remember telling you last time, but to be fair to them, they have actually, the ones that we have brought in have been really good. Got no complaints about them really, and a couple of academy players have stepped up too. So I think there's a lot of potential in our squad. It's just not quite, hit its form yet.
Yeah, still early days. And of course, you've got a new manager in charge with Ben Garner coming from Swindon Town. And what would you say the current mood is with Ben Garner and just the fans in general? Of course, Charlton you've had a last decade has been very interesting, a lot of different things going on. But yeah, how would you say the current mood is?
Yeah, do you know what? I think I'll hold my hands up and say, and I might have said this to you before, that I wasn't sure on Ben Garner, but I do actually really like him as a manager. I like the style that we're playing at the moment. I think it's probably there's been some dire performances as well, don't get me wrong, in the mix, but some of our games is the best I've seen us play in years. So, and I like his style of management as well. I think, since he's come in, I've been pleasantly surprised. I think he's actually been quite honest in the fact that we probably haven't had the investment that we needed in the summer, like in terms of replacing Connor Washington, who I think played against you on the final day of the season. He left for Rotherham and we haven't really replaced him. We've kind of relied on bringing Miles Leaburn through the academy, and he did really well before he got injured, to be fair. But yeah, so he's very honest, seems to be able to control his squad very well, and yeah, I'm enjoying him so far.
That's good to hear, because you never know with because of course Johnny Jackson, club legend with you guys, he left and he's gone to Wimbledon and stuff like that when a new manager comes in. But it's good to hear. Let's talk then about the big talking point going into the game. Scott Fraser, former Town player, of course, signed last summer, then went to you guys in January. Didn't play on the final day because he was injured, but this season he's doing pretty well. 15 games in total, 3 goals, 2 assists. He is going to be one of the danger men playing Town, and I'm sure he's going to be very interesting to go against his former club.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with him, actually. I think last season we saw flecks of him, what he could do, but I think this season he's definitely found his feet, and he's paired up with George Dobson in midfield. So obviously Fraser taking the more attacking role, Dobson more defensively so, but he's just been brilliant. I think it was a Portsmouth game. He did so well, even though, as I say, he's more of an attacking player. He did so well in terms of breaking down any of Pompey's movements. They just had no chance against him. And obviously, as you said, he's got a couple of goals and assists his name. So he's done really, really well. And I think character-wise as well, I'm sure, as Ipswich Town fans thought as well, he's just an all-round great player, and I've been really enjoying him this season.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be battling with some of his former teammates on Saturday. And let's take a look at the last 11 then against MK Dons for Charlton. Of course, as you said, a 2-0 defeat. Of course, one player got sent off, Ryan Ennis. But who else should be sort of the danger men we should look out for? As you said, Fraser's right there. Of course, Jaden Stockley is always one that I'm sure Town fans will know of as well, because he scored against us in the reverse fixture last year at the Valley. But yeah, anybody else?
Yeah, so Jezeren Raksaki, the winger, he's on loan from Crystal Palace, which is controversial in itself because us and Crystal Palace don't get along very well. But considering that, he's been absolutely brilliant. I think, again, he's not a player that has had any league experience. This is his first time out on loan, earning some minutes and earning some game time and learning the game, really. And he's been brilliant. Obviously, the first couple of games gave him a bit of leeway because he's getting his teeth into it. But now he doesn't look like he's a youth player. Like, he doesn't look like he's on loan. He looks like he's played for years, and he's just so dangerous. I think against Pompey and against all the teams we face, all their fans have been like, God, that Jessamine Ratsaki is nippy. If he comes towards you out the way, he is very, very dangerous. And obviously, he's scored quite a few goals now as well. He had a little bit of a dry spell, and then he got a very much deserved goal against Shrewsbury last weekend away. That was the winner. So, yeah, for a young lad, he's done very, very well. And then apart from him, I would say, obviously, apart from Fraser, our substitute striker, Charlton Athletic, he gets injured more often than he plays, but I still love him because whenever he comes on, he is just an absolute menace. So I think, look out for him. He'll probably come on in about the 70th minute and just run riot, hopefully. But yeah, he's definitely one to look out for as well.
Okay, and I'm going to put you on a spot here, I'm sorry to say, because I just want to ask quickly, Ryan Ennis, he got sent off. Like, who's going to come in for him? Will he be a big miss, or, is it actually someone else going to come in and fill his space and defend well?
I think it's interesting because Ennis has never been a player to play that many games in a row, really. He's not really earned that. He's always going to be out centre-back. But the last few games we were on our winning run, and I think the ones prior to that, we had the same back five. And I think that was a big part of how we actually managed to go on that really good run. And in fairness to him, he scored in one of those games. And he also, he's amazing, defensively from set pieces, especially MK had a corner that he just he's a big bloke who set it away. So in those situations, he's brilliant. But unfortunately, sometimes, as was what happened with Wimbledon away, I'll have to send you the video afterwards, but he does tend to put in some rather reckless challenges when he just doesn't need to. And there was a situation where it was on a one-on-one with I don't know who it was, one of MK's players bursting into the box, and you just knew he was going to get sent off. He got a second yellow. But to be honest, we're quite lucky in the respect that we do have Sam Lavelle, who's Morecambe's old captain, on the bench. So he's very capable of coming in and doing a job. So I should think that Lavelle will probably earn a start again.
Okay, we shall wait and see on that then. And, it sounds like Ben Garner's gone the standard route of 4-4-2. Now, what sort of game can we expect from a Ben Garner side? It could be a very interesting game. Kieran McKenna, Ben Garner going face to face. Yeah,
I think especially at home, we've been really good this season. I think that's the first time we've lost in a long time at home against MK. But I think we played their possession-based football. It's really quite quick. We were quite slow on Tuesday, and I think that ruined our game plan a bit. Couldn't quite get it to work. But yeah, very possession-based, and we'd like to create a lot of chances. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do that on Saturday. But yeah, I would say it either really clicks with Charlton and they play really well and they're very creative, lots of shots on goal, or it's the opposite and we can't quite break teams down. There's no in between. So hoping it's the former and we do actually manage to keep the ball and create lots of chances. But yeah, that's us.
Okay, we shall see. Because, of course, a lot of Town players who played that game at the Valley last season, of course, want to right some wrong because that was a very toxic atmosphere in the away end and it was not a good performance. So it will be very interesting. But, yeah, two different sides now, different players. We shall see. How are you feeling then, Tash, going into this game? What do you reckon?
Well, as I was saying to you before, we've gone on a three-game winning streak, and then I joked to my friends, I was like, it would be us to go lose the bottom of the table MK, wouldn't it? And lo and behold, it was the Charlton way we did that. But we tend to do better against the better sides, and that was the story last season as well. Again, we beat Rotherham, we beat Sunderland, but somehow we lose to the teams that are further down the table. So hopefully that trend will continue. We'll manage to play all right against you. Obviously, that wasn't the case when we went to Portman Road at the end of the season. But to be honest, I think by that point, we had so many players out of contract and I think they're all the season was done really. So, but yeah, I'm weirdly optimistic, which might come back to bite me by the time we get to the final whistle on Saturday, but hopefully not.
Yeah. Well, You gonna put a prediction on it, or should we segue away from that? Because it's always
Oh,
hard sometimes.
do you know what? I think both sides will score 100%. Although I'm going to go with the home advantage. I think we'll probably win 3-2.
Ooh, a lot of goals then. A lot of goals.
A lot of
Because
goals.
you guys do score a lot, actually. I'm looking at some of
Mm.
your results. You beat Pompey 3-0. You beat Exeter 4-2. Of course, the big win against Plymouth 5-1 early in the season. Of course, you beat Derby.
Mm.
So, as you said, you have beaten the big teams and some of the promotion teams as well. So, another Ipswich Town side coming to the Valley. Three. Who's going to score the goals then for Charlton? Who should we go? Oh God, it's going to come up. Fraser, is he going to do it?
Oh, he could do. He has scored a few this season, hasn't he? Yeah, do you know what? Unfortunately for you, he might do. I think it's probably more likely to come from Raksaki, or even an EK comes on, as he's due a goal as well. So I think the big man will probably come up and score against you.
Oh, 5-goal thriller. We shall see. Of course, Town fans watching this probably go, no, don't want that, Tash. Do not want that. And sort of segues nicely, really, Tash, on some advice for some Town fans. I'm sure a lot have already gone to the Valley before, but has there anything changed for the match day experience for away fans, just in general, getting to the Valley? And any other pubs that you should recommend? I know there's not many pubs around the Valley, but anywhere you think away fans should go?
Yeah, it's a shame, obviously, because I'm sure, as you guys understand, when you get relegated from the Premier League, crowds go down, and as do the businesses around you. So I don't have as many pubs drinking anymore. But there are a few away pubs. There's the Anchor and Hope on the river, which is quite nice. If the weather's nice on Saturday, that'd be a nice one to go to. It's only like a 10-minute walk away from the ground. It's not bad. But in terms of the Valley itself, not much has changed, I would say. Jimmy Seed Stand's still a good stand to be in as an away fan, I imagine. So, yeah, there's not much else to report, really. But I hope if there's anyone going for their first time, hope they enjoy it. Because from everyone else that said they've been in that away stand before, they seem to really enjoy it. So,
yeah, it's been some great moments in that away ends for Town fans. And there's another packed out away end. So it's going to be a great atmosphere, I'm sure, all round. Tash, it's been a pleasure as always. Any other business, any other notes you want to add?
No, but I'm just very much looking forward to the game.
Yes, bring it on. Well, if you're not going to the game, of course, follow the game with us. But if you are, enjoy the game and bring it on. Bye-bye for now.